ever wish you could, like, just tell a computer what you want it to create, like your
Yeah.
wildest visual ideas, and it just makes it.
Hmm.
Well, get this, Adobe Firefly. It's making that a reality.
Yeah.
And that's what our deep dive today is all about, this game-changing AI tool.
Right.
We're using Roland Banyas's book, Extending Creativity
Mm.
with Adobe Firefly. It's like our guide for this whole thing.
Yeah, you're really diving into the future of creativity, that's for sure. And what's so compelling about Firefly is that it's designed to be a partner to human creativity, not a replacement.
And that's a crucial distinction, right? I mean, we've all seen those AI art generators that spit out, something kind of cool, but it still feels kind of dot off.
Right.
So how does Firefly approach this partnership differently? I'm hooked already.
Well, I think it all starts with how intuitive it is, and Banyas illustrates this with a really powerful example. Imagine, like you're typing in a seas of memories and sadness, red night sky in a Rococo inked drawing style.
Yeah.
Firefly takes that complex, abstract idea, and it actually generates a visual representation.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that's way beyond just picking from, like, a stock photo library.
Right.
That's like tapping into a whole new realm of visual possibilities.
It is.
But let's be real for a sec. AI can feel kind of intimidating.
Absolutely.
Where do you even begin?
Yeah, but Banyas breaks down like all the core functions of Firefly in a way that makes it, I think, approachable for anyone, whether you're a seasoned graphic designer or, someone who's just starting to kind of explore visual content.
Yeah.
You'll find value in understanding text-to-image, generative fill, and even text-to-vector graphics.
Okay, so no more spending hours scrolling through, like, endless stock images just hoping to find the perfect fit.
Exactly.
Tell me more.
Firefly essentially hands you the tools to become your own stock library. It's about putting the power back in the hands of the creator, And Banyas really emphasizes how transformative this is, like across the board, from game design and marketing to education. He really touches on all these things.
Okay, so that makes sense, but how do you actually, like, talk to AI to get the results that you want?
Right.
Is there a secret code or something?
Well, it's called prompt engineering.
Okay.
And it's like, learning the language of AI.
Okay.
And Banyas gives you like the inside scoop on crafting prompts that truly capture your vision. He even dives into reverse engineering prompts using a tool called MG2 prompt.
Hold on. Reverse engineering prompts. What does that even mean?
It's fascinating, really. Imagine you come across, a visually stunning image.
Yeah.
You're curious to know, like, what kind of prompts would generate something similar? MG2 prompt analyzes the image and actually generates those prompts for you.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's like having an AI art historian by your side,
Right.
revealing, like, the secrets behind amazing visuals.
Exactly. And Banyas emphasizes how, understanding this visual language of AI is like key to unlocking the full potential of Firefly.
This is already blowing my mind, and we're just getting started.
Hmm.
But I'm also curious about, like, the ethical side of all of this.
Yeah.
With, AI generating images, how do we ensure that credit is given where it's due?
Right. That's where content credentials come in.
Right.
Banyas dedicates a good portion of the book to explaining how Firefly uses the system to kind of bring transparency to AI-generated content.
Okay.
It's like a digital signature, letting people know that an image was created using AI. It provides a trail back to the original creator.
Okay. So if I see an image online and I'm, like, curious if it's AI generated, I could potentially, like, find that information.
That's the idea.
Okay.
It's all about building trust and ensuring ethical use of these, incredibly powerful tools.
That makes me feel a lot better about, like, diving into this whole world. It sounds like Banyas is really trying to equip readers with, like, both the technical know-how and the ethical awareness to use Firefly responsibly.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about, like, the broad strokes of Firefly, but let's get into, like, the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
Banyas dives deep into text-to-image in Chapter 2.
It does, yeah.
What are some of the, like, key takeaways there?
He covers everything from understanding aspect ratios and content types to exploring different visual styles.
Okay.
And even how to, like, share your creations directly to Adobe Express. You even get insider tips on making your prompts super effective.
Ooh, insider tips from the master himself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've tossed around the term generative fill a couple of times.
Right.
What exactly does that entail?
Get ready for Chapter 3 because it's like a deep dive into this magical tool.
Okay.
Imagine you have a photo, let's say, of a lighthouse, but you want to add some drama to the sky. With generative fill, you can literally just brush over the area you want to change. You type in dark, stormy clouds, and boom, Firefly does the rest.
That's incredible. It's like having an AI photo editor that understands exactly what you're going for.
Right.
Okay, so we can conjure up stormy skies on demand. That's already pretty impressive. But Bañez mentions that generative fill can do even more than that.
It can.
What other tricks does this tool have up its sleeve?
Well, let's stick with our lighthouse photo for a second.
Okay.
What if, instead of just changing the sky, you wanted to add elements to the scene? Like, say, a charming little sailboat, bobbing in the water.
Wait, seriously. We're not just talking about replacing backgrounds here. We're talking about adding entirely new objects.
You got it.
Wow.
Bañez demonstrates how generative fill can seamlessly blend AI-generated elements into your existing photos. And it's not limited to just simple objects. You can even remove unwanted objects, change backgrounds entirely, and even extend the edges of images.
Hold on, extend images. You mean if I needed to make a landscape photo work as a portrait, Firefly could just create more image to fill the space.
Exactly. It's called generative expand.
Okay.
And it's a game changer for anyone who's ever struggled with cropping or resizing images.
Right.
Firefly analyzes the existing content and generates realistic pixels to fill the gaps, ensuring, that everything looks natural and seamless.
This is blowing my mind. It's like having a magic wand for your photos.
It really is.
So we've explored photos, but what about graphics and text?
Yeah.
Does Firefly have anything for the design nerds out there?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Bañez devotes a whole chapter to exploring how Firefly integrates with other Adobe products.
Okay.
And trust me, if you're a design enthusiast, you're going to love this.
Okay, hit me with it. What kind of design magic are we talking about?
Well, in Chapter 4, Bañez dives into creating stylistic text effects using Adobe Express.
Okay.
Imagine taking a simple word like leaf and transforming it into a stunning visual representation of a fiddle leaf fig complete with intricate details and textures.
Wow. So instead of just choosing a font, you're creating a unique piece of art out of the text itself.
Right.
That's next level stuff.
And it's incredibly easy to do with Firefly. Bañez walked you through the process step by step.
Okay.
Showing you how to use text effects to add that extra wow factor to, posters, social media posts, even something as simple as a birthday card.
Speaking of design elements, what about colors?
Yes.
I feel like finding the perfect color palette can be a huge time suck.
You're telling me. But don't worry, Firefly's got you covered there too.
Okay, good.
Chapter 5 takes us deep into the world of generative recolor in Adobe Illustrator. Imagine having a client who's, torn between two completely different color schemes for their logo.
Right.
With generative recolor, you can use text prompts to instantly generate endless color variations of your vector artwork.
So I could literally type in something like calming forest green.
Right.
Or tranquil underwater blue.
Mm-hmm.
And see how those palettes look applied to my design.
Precisely. It's like having an AI color assistant that understands complex color harmonies.
Right.
And can apply them based on your prompts. And Bañez even provides a bunch of example prompts to kind of get you started.
This is incredible. It's like Firefly is breaking down all these creative barriers.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about how this all works within the Adobe programs I use every day.
Right.
Do I have to jump back and forth between Firefly and Photoshop, for example?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Chapters 6 and 7 are all about how seamlessly Firefly is integrated into the Adobe suite. Specifically, Photoshop, Illustrator, Express, and even Adobe Stock.
Okay, now we're talking. I love the idea of having these AI tools right at my fingertips within the programs I'm already using.
Right.
Tell me everything.
Well, remember generative fill from earlier?
Yeah.
It's now a core part of both the desktop and web versions of Photoshop.
Okay.
So all that magic we talked about with, editing photos.
Yeah.
You can now do it directly within Photoshop.
No more exporting and importing between programs. That's a huge time saver.
Exactly. And for all you Adobe Illustrator fans out there,
Yeah.
Chapter 6 has something truly groundbreaking in store.
Okay.
Text to vector graphic.
Okay, stop right there. Text to vector graphic. As in, I can type in a description, and Illustrator will create a vector graphic for me.
You heard right. Think of it like this. You have an idea for a logo, an illustration, whatever.
Okay.
Instead of sketching it out or searching for hours online, you simply type in a prompt describing what you want. Let's say vintage car on a highway, desert sunset, retro poster design.
Okay.
Illustrator takes that prompt and actually creates a vector graphic based on your description.
No way. So it's not just about creating, single elements.
Right.
I can create entire scenes using text prompts.
Right. Absolutely. You can add icons, generate patterns, all with the same ease of typing a prompt.
Okay.
And it's not just about the visuals either.
Yep.
The pattern function within text to vector graphic even lets you control the color palettes.
Oh, wow.
So you can create designs that, perfectly match your vision.
This is going to revolutionize the way people approach design. Imagine the possibilities.
I know. It's amazing. And Bañez really emphasizes the time-saving aspect.
Oh, sure.
No more meticulously tracing reference images or struggling to get those, perfect curves.
Right.
AI takes care of the technical, heavy lifting, freeing you up to focus on the creative vision.
That's a game changer for sure.
Yeah.
But what about those of us who are creatures of habit and love using Adobe Express?
Yeah.
Does Firefly play nice with Express too?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, Chapter 7 dives into how Firefly is being integrated, across the entire Adobe ecosystem, including Express and even Adobe Stock.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about how this integration works.
Well, for starters, both the text-to-image and generative fill features we talked about earlier,
Yeah?
they're now fully integrated into Adobe Express.
Okay, now I can...
So if you're already using Express to create social media content, posters, or even just quick graphics, you now have access to these powerful AI tools directly within the program.
That's so convenient. It's like having a whole suite of creative tools at your fingertips.
Exactly. And if you thought creating a birthday card with AI was cool,
Yeah.
wait till you hear about text-to-template.
Okay.
It's a beta feature in Express that lets you generate fully editable design templates from, you guessed it, text prompts.
Hold on, I need to catch my breath. Text to templates. So instead of scrolling through endless template options, I can just tell Express what I need.
Yep.
And it creates a custom template for me.
You got it. Let's say you're organizing a tech conference.
Okay.
And you need a flyer. Instead of spending hours browsing templates, you could simply type in bold and modern flyer for a tech conference and boom! Adobe Express, powered by Firefly, generates a starting point, tailored to your specific needs.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's like having a personal designer on call 24/7.
It's amazing.
And I know a lot of designers rely on Adobe Stock for images.
Sure.
Has Firefly infiltrated that realm as well?
It has indeed. Chapter 7 also walks you through using text-to-image directly within Adobe Stock.
Wow.
So if you're looking for a very specific type of image, you can now use Firefly's AI to generate it, within Adobe Stock itself.
That's amazing. It's like having access to an unlimited library of images.
Yeah.
Tailored to your exact specifications.
I know.
No more settling for close enough when it comes to stock photos.
Exactly. And the best part,
Yep.
since Firefly is trained on Adobe Stock's, massive library of commercially licensed images,
Right.
you can be confident that the images you generate are cleared for commercial use.
It's a win-win for creators and users alike.
Right.
It really seems like Adobe is going all in on Firefly, integrating it seamlessly into their entire suite of products.
They are.
What's clear is that Adobe sees Firefly as the future of creative tools. And based on what we've explored in these chapters, it's hard to disagree.
I know.
It's mind-blowing to think how much Firefly can already do,
Right.
from generating images to recoloring designs and even creating entire vector graphics from scratch.
Yeah.
But knowing Adobe, they're not stopping there, right?
Right.
What does Bañez say about the future of Firefly?
You're right on the money. Bañez dedicates the entire last chapter of the book, aptly titled Beyond Firefly,
Okay.
to exploring the future of this technology and its potential impact on the creative landscape.
Okay, so spill the tea. What's next for Firefly? Give us a glimpse into the future of creativity.
Well, brace yourself.
Okay.
Because things are about to get really meta. One of the most fascinating aspects that Bañez delves into is how Firefly is being used by other AI.
What?
He specifically talks about NVIDIA Picasso and Google Gemini.
Wait, hold up. AI using other AI. My brain is officially in the future right now.
Right.
Tell me more about how this works.
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening right now.
Right.
NVIDIA Picasso, for example, is a platform that allows developers to build their own generative AI models.
Okay.
And guess what? They're using Firefly technology as part of their toolkit.
So it's like Firefly is becoming the building block for a whole new generation of AI-powered creative tools.
Right.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But what about Google Gemini? How does that fit into the picture?
Gemini is particularly interesting because it was initially powered by Firefly for its text-to-image capabilities.
Okay.
But as Banez explains, it has since, evolved and moved in a different direction.
It's amazing how quickly the AI landscape is changing, isn't it?
I-
One minute you think you've got a handle on things,
Right.
the next minute there's a whole new set of tools and technologies to like wrap your head around.
Absolutely. But even though Gemini is no longer directly using Firefly, Banez highlights the, shared commitment to ethical AI image generation
Okay.
and the importance of content credentials. It's reassuring to see these industry giants prioritizing transparency and, responsible AI development.
That's good to hear. It's easy to get caught up in like all the exciting possibilities,
Aye.
without stopping to think about the ethical implications.
Right.
So we've talked about how other AI are using Firefly, but what about like new features and capabilities within Firefly itself?
Right.
What can we expect to see in the future?
Get ready to have your mind blown. And again, Banez gives us a sneak peek at some of the upcoming features that are in the works.
Okay.
And trust me, they're jaw-dropping.
Okay, you've piqued my curiosity. Spill the beans.
Yeah.
What kind of Firefly magic is on the horizon?
Think video, 3D, and even animation capabilities. We're
Okay.
talking about taking the power of Firefly
Yeah.
and applying it to entirely new mediums.
Whoa, that's next level stuff.
Yeah.
So instead of just generating like static images, we'll be able to create entire like animated worlds with Firefly.
That's the idea. Banez specifically mentions how Firefly is being integrated into Adobe Substance 3D,
Right.
which is a suite of advanced 3D applications, used by professionals in gaming, film, and other industries.
I've heard of Substance 3D. It's some seriously powerful stuff, but isn't it incredibly complex to use?
It can be, yes. But that's where Firefly comes in.
Okay.
Banez highlights how Firefly is making these advanced 3D tools more accessible to a wider range of creators.
Okay.
For example, there's a tool called Substance 3D Stager,
Yeah.
which lets you create photorealistic 3D visualizations
Okay.
without needing to be a 3D modeling expert.
So even if I don't have like years of experience with 3D modeling, I could still potentially use Substance 3D to create my own like 3D worlds. Yeah.
Exactly. And with Firefly's, generative background feature, you can now generate realistic backgrounds for your 3D scenes with just a text prompt.
Wow.
Firefly takes care of matching the lighting and perspective perfectly, making the entire process incredibly intuitive.
It's like having an AI set designer at your disposal.
Right.
This is incredible. What other Substance 3D magic does Banez reveal?
Well, he also talks about Substance 3D Sampler, which is where Firefly's text-to-texture feature comes into play.
Texture.
Uh-huh.
As in, I can type in a description and Firefly will generate a realistic 3D texture.
You got it. Let's say you're working on a 3D model of a tree,
Okay.
and you need a realistic bark texture.
Right.
Instead of spending hours trying to create that texture manually,
Yeah.
you can simply type in rough, weathered tree bark,
Okay.
and Firefly will generate it for you.
That's insane. It's like Firefly is like bridging the gap between, traditional creative skills and the power of AI.
It is.
Suddenly, like these incredibly powerful tools are within reach for so many more creators.
Right. And that seems to be the overarching theme of Banez's book, It's
Yeah.
not about replacing human creativity, it's about augmenting it.
Right.
Giving creators new ways to, express their vision and bring their ideas to life.
I love that. So with all these new features and capabilities on the horizon, what does Banez say about how we can best prepare ourselves to harness the full potential of Firefly? Are there any specific tips or resources he recommends?
Absolutely. While he does a fantastic job of, covering the technical aspects of Firefly, he also provides some really valuable advice for those who want to dive deeper into the world of AI powered creativity.
Yeah.
He offers a bunch of advanced prompt engineering techniques,
Right.
encouraging readers to really experiment and push the boundaries of what's possible with Firefly.
That's so important. It's easy to get stuck in a rut using the same prompts and techniques over and over again. But Firefly is so much more than just a tool. It's like a creative partner.
Right.
And
Yeah.
any good partner, it challenges us to grow and evolve.
Exactly. And for those who want to connect with other creators and learn from the experts, Banez points us to resources like, the Adobe Discord channels.
Oh, cool.
It's a great way to, stay up to date on the latest Firefly developments, ask questions, get inspired by what others are creating.
So after this deep dive into the world of Adobe Firefly, What's the main takeaway for our listeners? What's the one thing you hope they walk away with?
I think the biggest takeaway is that we're on the cusp of a creative revolution,
Okay.
and AI is at the forefront.
Yeah.
Adobe Firefly is just one example of how AI is changing the way we create and interact with visual content.
Right.
It's a powerful tool that has the potential to democratize creativity, making it more accessible to everyone, regardless of their skill level.
That's such a powerful message. It's not about like fearing the rise of the machines. It's about embracing the incredible opportunities that like AI presents.
Right.
It's about using these tools to enhance our own creativity and push the boundaries of what's possible.
Exactly. And as Banez reminds us throughout the book, it's crucial to approach this technology ethically and responsibly.
Right.
Ensuring transparency, giving credit where it's due. Content credentials play a vital role in this.
Yeah.
And it's encouraging to see Adobe taking a, leadership stance on ethical AI.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the world of Adobe Firefly with you today.
It has.
This deep dive into extending creativity with Adobe Firefly has been truly inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling this is just the beginning of a very exciting journey.
I couldn't agree more. The future of creativity is here, and it's bursting with possibilities.